Okay guys, welcome back to another reaction video in my YouTube channel, Aldi 28. So without further ado, let's go on to our next match.
Arsenal aiming to go back to the top. Nottingham Forest arrive on the bottom of the Premier League. But the last couple of games have suggested the narrative might not be quite as straightforward as that today.
In this match, it will be Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest.
Home games in all competitions to fuel the fans' dreams of a return to former glories. This afternoon should provide a useful insight into those prospects, with Mikel Arteta calling for a reset after Thursday's disappointing defeat in Eindhoven, and rediscovered a sort of form that had seen them win 8 on the bounce before last Sunday's slip at Southampton. Forest have found a bit more fortitude of late to suggest they are more than capable of laying down the challenge today as they continue to try and find their feet back in the big side.
Okay, as usual, we'll see the name
Actually, the only English opponents Mikel Arteta has met as a manager and not yet beaten.
We have our keeper, Aaron Ramsdale. Our backs, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Tomiyasu. Zinchenko is not on the list because of injury. Odegaard, Partey and Saka will be our main midfielders. And then our forwards, Saka, Jesus, Martinelli.
The reserve Eddie Nketiah has come off the bench for Arsenal in every Premier League game so far this season. With Matt Turner injured, Carl Hyde is the backup keeper on the bench. That FA Cup win last season was Steve Cooper's first managerial meeting with Arsenal. Here's the team that he's picked for today. Dean Henderson has kept clean sheets in his last 2 games after just one in his previous 13 Premier League appearances. The only change from the win over Liverpool is at left back, where fit again Renan Lodi is preferred to Nico Williams. Serge Aurier, a familiar adversary of Arsenal from his Spurs days. Sekou Kouyaté has more Premier League appearances than anyone in the Forest squad. He's again joined in midfield by Ryan Yates and Ramo Freuler. Morgan gets wide, Jesse Lingard provide the support in attack to Taiwo Awoniyi, who scored the only goal in each of their 2 Premier League wins so far this season, including against his former club Liverpool last week. It means Brennan Johnson has to settle for a place on the bench for the 2nd straight game, having started the first 11 league matches of Forest season.
Well, both teams still will line up in a 4-3-3 formation, but
alright, as usual, Arsenal use
the 3 in midfield certainly are not going to have their work cut out. So Lingard and Gibbs White will retreat and make that into a kind of a 5. But on paper, it looks like both in a 4-3-3 formation.
He takes it personally, says Steve Cooper, to see Nottingham Forest on the foot of the Premier League. He's been impressed with their attitude in training over the course of the last week as they look to build on what he hopes will be lit off with that win against Liverpool, but a daunting test today against Mikel Arteta's men. Arsenal yet to drop a point in the Premier League at home all season. It's an expectant Emirates, but a late kick-off here. Simon Hooper in charge today, his first time refereeing an Arsenal match. To get the action underway very shortly. Ready to go then at the Emirates. It's the second time this season Arsenal
has started. Let's go.
Defeat after that Europa League loss on Thursday. Nottingham Forest arrive on the back of arguably their best moment since their long-awaited return to the top flight and the win over Liverpool. Arsenal will be favourites, Tony Gale, but maybe not to quite the same extent as they would have been just a couple of weeks ago.
No, I think people were kind of waiting for Arsenal to slip up, Phil, but I see no reason why not. I mean, they've had a great start. They've got to keep up this confidence run that they've got and really go and make it happen now till the break that we've got to the World Cup, and then reset and go on from there. But So far, so good. I think they've started magnificently.
Gabriel in possession here. The three yet to miss a minute in the Premier League for this Arsenal side. The youngest average age of any team in the Premier League.
Oh.
On that sector, who was called?
Just a reminder that there's a dark body there, but I thought that's a bad foul. He's trying to nick it from the wrong side. There was no chance of getting that. So the only chance was of catching Saka on his Achilles, and he got a sore knock there, but he's fit to continue.
He's had a super season for Bukayo Saka. As Arsenal look for Gabriel Jesus. Gibbs White for Forest is dispossessed. Well, yes, he did well.
You see already that Gibbs White and Lingard are dropping deeper to make it up into a 5 in there, Phil, rather than that 4-3-3. So they're going to be deeper than the Arsenal wide players. They're going to be doubling up, trying to help out their fullbacks. So they've got a lot of work to do this afternoon to stop Arsenal.
Always likely to be part of the plan from Steve Cooper, you would imagine. Liverpool at bay last week. They kept Brighton at bay in a goalless draw. And their last away fixture as well. Never kept 3 clean sheets in a row in their Premier League history. This is Odegaard. All the early possession is perhaps predictably Arsenal possession.
Yeah, and you can see they're just dropping in their shape. When he's the furthest forward, and he's even 20 yards into the Arsenal half, so it's going to be very, very difficult to break them down. And you've got to show extreme patience here. But get that ball moving as fast as you can and get it into these wide positions.
It's Ben White trying to dink it down the line. He just left his leg in and concedes the free kick, but the early plan has seemingly already been established.
Saka getting a little bit of his own back there. Not really noting for his tackling, but what a wonderful young man he is. He's had a few ups and downs in his very young career at the moment, but boy is he dealing with it well. He really is a talent.
Some goals in the Premier League already this season as well. Become a key player under Mikel Arteta. His team have 28 points after their first 11 games, the best they've ever managed it this stage of a Premier League season. In fact, they've topped it only once before in their history, back in 1947.
No, I wasn't playing, Phil.
That was the next question. They will need a target here for Nottingham Forest, who, despite defending deep and frustrating Liverpool last week, did carry a threat, didn't they, which perhaps wasn't the case in the previous game at Brighton. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, I think so, Phil. And it's important that they break quickly to get near Owen as well, because they're really going to have to break their speed to get up there and support them. But they're capable of doing it. We saw it against Liverpool. Some really quick breakaways.
Right, Xhaka winning the throw and taking it quickly. Trying to keep the pressure on high here, Arsenal. Gibbs White just unable to keep that one in play. Tomiyasu.
Saka.
Super start for Arsenal. Gabriel Martinelli on the end of it already. He's making a habit of early goals at the Emirates.
What a super take that is. He gets across his marker really well there, doesn't he, Martinelli? The ball switched
Nice one, Martinelli.
That comes out
Nice
with a
one.
nice zipped pass. Plenty of pace on it. Gives him a little bit more time.
Pablo Mari.
There's their tribute. Wonderful goal to start the game. They're passing it about quickly and they switch it from one side to the other. See how it gets zipped out quickly here. That's a great ball. Now he's got a little bit of time, squares up the defender, gets his pass in. Oh, that's a great header, Martinelli. Really brave. Stooping low in front of the defender and getting that glancing header in. That's a terrific goal. All about their Arsenal pace and attack there, Phil, from one side to the other and then central.
goal of the Premier League season for Gabriel Martinelli, who took just 58 seconds to give them the lead here against Liverpool earlier in the month.
The only negative I would say there from Forest is really, if you're letting forwards get across you like that, well, that's poor defending, but you can't take it away from the goal. But defensively, as a central defender, you really have got to get in front. If they're going to score, they've got to come over the top of you. They never should be getting in front of you in areas like that, but can't take it away. Fantastic goal.
The Forest plan was to come and try and frustrate, and that has been foiled already in the early stages here. And here goes the goal scorer once more. Martinelli taking on Serge Aurier this time. Gets it behind for the corner. It is all Arsenal early on.
Yeah, nice rotation of movement as well, because Saka joined him on that far side. He's starting on this right, but he's joining Martinelli on the left there, doubling up in that situation. It's a good rotation of movement.
Here comes Gabriel from the back. New long-term contract recently signed. The Premier League's top-scoring centre-back from last season. Will be one of the targets here. Saka winning it back well though. This possessing Jesse Lingard. Gabriel Jesus! Perfection away from two.
Great step from Saka, wasn't he? Just slugs in the side here, Jesse Lingard. That's weak from Jesse Lingard, but Saka was tremendous. Jesus comes inside, tries to curl it for that far post. He's just a little bit of luck out the moment in front of the goal, isn't it? Otherwise that would have maybe arrowed in that top corner.
He will need at the other end. He's taken off his toes by William Saliba. A little reminder for Arsenal.
Yeah, that's the danger of the breakaway, Phil. You have to be concentrating at the back.
I've lost it here. Serge Aurier got a footing, couldn't keep hold of it though. He's given away. So
Ramsdale.
Straight at Aaron Ramsdale.
Bit of a giveaway in the middle of the park there. Xhaka plays it blind, intercepted, just set up. Fires away, but it's far too straight from Freuler, straight at the keeper there, Aaron Ramsdale. Quite an easy save.
Freuler looking for his first Forest goal as they try and search for a response to the early concession. Bukayo Saka in the move right from the start here, as do Arsenal, who have already continued their record of being the only Premier League team to score in every game this season.
We saw a little bit of a lack of talking there between Cook and McKenna as Jesus nearly got in behind them again. They've already been exposed once by Martinelli getting in front of them. You really got to talk quickly when players are coming across. You have to really talk quickly, communicate nice and clearly, so that crossover, you don't get caught in front as they did for the goal there.
Saliba stepping forward from centre back. Gabriel with everything ahead of him. Jesus dropping deeper. Says he's 100% certain that he will score in the next game, having gone 6 without one.
Okay.
With Granit Xhaka, who has been amongst the goals recently. Martinelli to Partey. To Saka.
Okay, Saka. Nah.
This is Erdegaard. Try and cut it back. There's a little bit of pinball in the penalty area. Jesus tries to do it. Thomas Partey's effort is blocked. And Forest coming under sustained pressure again before it gets working clear.
They're just outside the area there, Partey, but he's trying to pass it into the back of the net. I mean, the surface is super safe. Perfect for football this afternoon. Just trying to pass it in the corner there, but blocked en route.
Really enjoying their home comforts this season. Our Arsenal, 10 straight wins here in all competitions. Draw at Southampton a week ago. The first time since New Year's Day that Arsenal haven't gone on to win the game, having scored first. They search for the second today, and Saka kept it in, looking for Jesus. Out only as far as Erdegaard. Lodi to that all he could do.
Well, Lodi got caught out there, and the centre-backs weren't over on the cover. Ben White just clipped it in behind. You can see, look, this is poor marking. Look, he goes short, then checks in behind, far too tight, the fullback, and even the centre-backs can't get over to cover there. Eventually they clear, but they're in a bit of disarray at the start of this game. Arsenal moving it about nice and quickly.
Out and away, winning 8 games, going back to the Championship and to victory at Fulham in April. Nottingham Forest coming here. The corner is taken short. Bukayo Saka flashes it in. Spectacular attempt from Tomiyasu. And we'll get another corner out of it.
Well, again, getting across his marker, but Tomiyasu there, I think that maybe should have been like Martinelli, a diving header. If he gets that height, it's very difficult to hit on the volley. A diving header there may have been the same kind of goal.
Been a less likely goal scorer, maybe, still looking for his first for the club. It's Tomiyasu. But they do get another corner. And it goes again into that threatening area, out as far as Martinelli. Couldn't quite control it with the first touch. Forest haven't really got going yet. Saw the celebration after the opening goal, the Dr. Pablo Mari involved in that horrific stabbing incident in a supermarket in Italy earlier in the week. Very much on the thoughts of his teammates. He's out on loan at Monza at the moment.
Baru sedikit persen bagusan Arsenal, 76 sementara Forest baru 24.
There is Martinelli.
Good play, wasn't it? Henry following him all the way in, but nice and tight. Just getting done by these little spins. There's Jesus spinning in behind him.
Nearly, but not quite.
Yeah, trying to flick it around the corner, Tomiyasu on the overlap there, but again, just trying to get too tight. Aurier showed the way there and then got back in position, but look at that. Just spun out in behind. That's far too easy at the moment on both sides.
Semua perannya terlalu jauh.
Continuing to deputise on the left side, Tomiyasu. Zinchenko close to a return, we understand, from a calf injury, but again, this game has come just a little too soon. And Lodi back recently from injury. Left back for Nottingham Forest, hoisting that high. Ewoli. Lingard making the run for him. It's covered by Saliba, but he does have work to do here, and he did so with a measure of composure.
Really high, the Arsenal centre-backs there. It's taking a little bit of a risk, but Saliba was up to that one, but you've got to pick that nice little pass for us. That's where they've got to take care when they do get possession. They can break out quickly, trying to be in on goal, even in and around that halfway line. Arsenal was so high.
It's the first league meeting between the clubs since January of 1999. They have traded 2 cup wins apiece in the near 24 years since this one's famous fixture was last contested in the top flight. Bukayo Saka.
Oke, Saka.
Still going before taking a tumble. It will break from Jesus.
Sayang sekali di blok itu.
Took the sting out of it.
Yeah, good block in the end, but again, Jesus getting in front of Steve Cook. As a defender, you've got to be on that goal side. It breaks kindly, doesn't it, for Jesus? And Cook gets his block in, but he's still got to cross him.
Jesus heavily involved in the early stages, looking to link with his fellow Brazilian Martinelli. Ewoli. Match winner against his former club Liverpool, for whom he never made a first team appearance, but scored against them last week. It's always going to be a difficult game this for us to try and build on that win. Certainly started in that fashion. A little concerning here for Arsenal because Bukayo Saka is the player down. He has taken a couple of knocks already today.
Yeah, he took one on the back of the Achilles, and I think this one was on the front in the last instance when he cut inside and he kind of stumbled because he got clipped and the ball eventually rode to Jesus, who had his shot blocked there by Cook. But just let's hope this young man's all right. Every time you see an England player going down, you'll just keeping your fingers crossed all the time.
Coba kita lihat.
Great little run, really direct again. Lottie's having problems with it. There he's just trod on his foot. Now, obviously his knee's gone into the ground as well. That's the awkward fall.
Yang di tackle tadi itu.
Has had a remarkable record of consistency in shrugging off the knocks and niggles. Is playing in a 54th consecutive Premier League game.
You can see. I think when you're defending like that, Steve Cook, an experienced defender, you'll think, I shouldn't have let him get across me. As soon as he's coming across on his left foot there, Saka, he's only going to hit the crossing. So as a defender, you've got to get in front. You shouldn't be having to dive to get to the header. You should maybe give yourself half a yard. If you get done with a forward climbing all over your back and with a towering header, so be it. But never get done by someone getting in front of you.
Martinelli taking full advantage for Nicolas Pepe's side. Played his 100th game for the club at PSV on Thursday. His first start saw him score twice. 5-0 win against Nottingham Forest in the third round of the League Cup, September of 2019, for his only previous visit to the Emirates. Making further memories against them today.
Offside.
It's going to be pulled back. Let's try and get out.
You've got to be brave. When you're defending deep like this, like Forest, they're back into that defensive shape that they've got. When it does break down and Arsenal give the ball away, you've got to be brave to play out from that press. You can, if you can make one or two passes, then all of a sudden, even in and around the halfway line, you've got to be in. So you've got to be brave both in possession and out of possession.
Serge Aurier with the free kick. Winner of 2 of the 3 North London derbies he contested against Arsenal in his Spurs days. There's Partey.
Okay.
Score against Spurs at the start of the month. This was Gabriel Jesus, but he hasn't managed another one since then. Scored a fine start to his first season.
Martinelli on one side and Saka on the other, really keeping the width of the pitch. They're trying to stretch this Forest defence, who are tightly packing it in the middle there. By staying wide, they're trying to keep it as stretched as they can.
Okay, well, he has to chase it, and he is going to reach it. Support from Jesse Lingard. And here from Checo Kuyate, who's quickly throws down. Doing his defensive duties, Jesus.
Yeah, that's why he endears him to the fans. You know, he may be going for a period where he hasn't scored a goal in a few games, but his hard work and that work ethic for the team endears himself to his own team and the fans.
He's still contributing, isn't he? In summer signing from Manchester City. Freuler. Taken off him. And it's Martinelli. Granit Xhaka. Tomiyasu on the charge. It's just held up by Serge Aurier whilst he looked for some support here in red and white. Thomas Partey.
Okay.
The ball, it's coming from Martinelli. Out as far as Erdogan. Back over the bar by Bukayo Saka.
He's actually struggling. You can see as he tried to build on that shot, he was just struggling and give his leg a little bit of a shake after. Good third man movement. Partey over the top. Xhaka, who's getting into more dangerous positions than I've ever seen, cuts it back for Martinelli, cleared off the line, and eventually the volley over the top. Good defending, wasn't it, by Lodi? They get back there. But they're up against it at the moment, Forest. Arsenal coming from all angles.
Forest free kick this time to try and turn the tide. Well, he is their top scorer with his 3 goals so far.
Welcome a little bit of respite here, see if they can get something out of this set piece situation. Arsenal keeping that high line, giving their keeper Ramsdale plenty of space to dictate if he can come for this cross, if it's a little bit too deep.
Again, Arsenal have negotiated the early stages without concession. Yet to let a goal in the opening quarter of an hour of the game this season, and they weren't really threatened by the set piece because of the referee's whistle.
And I think it was Steve Cook who was penalised, just grappling with one of the Arsenal players, just blocking him off there.
First Arsenal going for referee Simon Hooper. He was in charge of Forest's return to the top flight at Newcastle on the opening weekend of the season. Jesus. Whereas this team did start on Thursday night against PSV, where a point would have guaranteed top spot in their Europa League group and play straight through to the round of 16 in that competition. They now have to beat Zurich on Thursday to ensure that that is the case. Avoid 2 extra games in the new year against potentially teams dropping down from the Champions League. Conte playing it forward.
Saka released that ball quickly there, Phil. I still think he's struggling.
Jesse Lingard chasing after this one, putting the pressure on Saliba.
Panik itu panik.
In his 50th Arsenal appearance today, Aaron Ramsdale on Thursday night was involved in Europe for the first time after an injury to Matt Turner. It's kept him out of the matchday squad today. Still very much the Premier League first choice. What they haven't had though in this remarkable winning run at home is a clean sheet. That's why they'll continue to search for the second goal. Saka's still not moving freely.
Yeah, he normally would have run straight at Loddy there, a bit more direct, but he's opted to pass again. I don't think he's going to be on for much longer.
Partey to Granit Xhaka. Taken away from him by Ryan Yates. Aurier tries to complete the job defensively. Will probably settle for that against Granit Xhaka. Seems to be relishing his more advanced role, doesn't he?
A little bit of freedom. He's normally the central midfield player who just sits in front of the back four and at times gets it exposed a little bit.
Still dominant in possession through the opening quarter of the game. Afflicted by the early goal. Further chances have followed, maybe not to quite the same extent that they might have hoped.
Let's see if he has a run here. No, he's elected to pass it again, Phil, hasn't he? Normally, he'll square up the full-back and try and have a go at him on either side. So, Arsenal fans and England fans all anxiously hoping that it's not too bad.
Waduh, tackle itu.
They will be ahead of him. He's up against his international colleague Granit Xhaka in the midfield today. Played over 40 times together for Switzerland. There is Cook. There's a lot of dialogue, I think, going on between Saka and the bench, isn't there? Maybe that he's not going to be able to continue. Certainly want to keep a close eye on. Forward towards Jesse Lingard. A bit too much on it for him.
I think sometimes there are injuries that you can't run off. He's trying to signal over to the physio down there, and I think he's struggling.
Conversation from a distance continues with the Arsenal doctor of Bukayo Saka, with his team in possession here. Gabriel Jesus, Xhaka,
Dorongan itu.
blatant shove from behind from Yates. After an injury-delayed start to the season, has become a regular in their Premier League midfield, one of the few really to survive from the team that progressed through the playoffs to earn promotion from the Championship. 23 new players coming in total over the course of the summer. Erdegaard helping it on first time towards Granit Xhaka, who will continue to apply the pressure to Serge Aurier. Did just enough there to shepherd the ball out of play.
Yeah, so good upper body strength, and I think Saka's coming off now. He couldn't run that off. He tried, the young man, didn't he? Let's just hope he hasn't done his ligaments or something with the World Cup just on the horizon.
He was player of the year last season.
Awkward twist, Phil, wasn't it? I saw, when he came inside Loddy, and he got a little bit of a connection and he twisted. That looks like the ankle to me. Yeah, just trying to lock it in, you can see.
some reorganising for Mikel Arteta to do in a moment. Just Reece Nelson is probably the likeliest replacement. He's getting ready down on the touchline because Saka isn't going to be able to continue. That's where he was hurt. And this is worrying for club and country.
Yeah, and he's not the type of young man to feign injury, is he? Or want to come off. He's always wants to play every minute of every game. So you just kind of knew as soon as he went down when he was injured, he wasn't feigning anything. And let's hope it's not anything serious.
Sympathetic applause for Bukayo Saka, whose afternoon ends early. Reece Nelson is going to be his replacement to make a first Premier League appearance of his season. Player who was out on loan at Feyenoord in the previous campaign.
Kayaknya Saka bagus. Luar biasa. Berat.
Await further diagnosis as he heads down the tunnel. Reece Nelson has got his first Arsenal goal in the aforementioned League Cup win against Forest here just over 3 years ago. Comes on for a first appearance in the Premier League since the opening game of last season against Brentford.
And this is when injuries like this happen, and if it happens to key players and they're out for a little bit of time, then the players in and around it have to step up. They have to really step up to the plate and really try and continue this great run of form for Arsenal. So good luck to that young man as well.
Opportunity for Reece Nelson here. Immediately into the action. Ødegaard making it wider for Martinelli to try and bend one in towards Reece Nelson, who was the far post target. They'll get the corner.
Well, good defended by Lodi because he was going backwards there and he knew that Reece Nelson was in behind. So going backwards is not a particularly easy defensive header to make, and he done well.
Fourth Arsenal corner without reply. So this first half an hour. By Ødegaard towards Martinelli, near post, back for Martin Ødegaard to try again, sizing one up. As far as Nelson, Gibbs White trying to get there first, but has conceded the foul and the free kick in the process.
Just tried to nip on the wrong side, but Nelson always had his body between ball and man here. Look, he's trying to have a little nick at it, and he got the body in the way, it's impossible.
Signing getting a run in the team, Morgan Gibbs White. So that move that could be worth over £40 million from Wolves. Reunited with Steve Cooper, with whom he won an under-17 World Cup. Played for a line of Swansea as well. Dean Henderson was outstanding last week against Liverpool. Different circumstances though, as they had a lead to hold on to. Here it is, Arsenal trying to extend their advantage, and the free kick will be left for Ødegaard. Empty wall in front of him, half of it really consisting of his own players.
Well, Arsenal are just putting up another wall on the side of the Forest wall, just trying to block the line of sight for Henderson.
Martin Ødegaard strikes it at that wall. Now where will it fall? Jesus is underneath it. It's just taken away from him by Renan Lodi. So it's charged out by Jesus to go for the goal kick. Forest survived the scare.
It does away for a goal kick, but again, it's great closing down by Jesus. He triggers the movement, doesn't he? If you're going to press, you've got to press from the front, and there's not many better than that young man when the opposition get the ball. And those centre-backs who are dropping deep really have to be on their toes because he's really on them.
Jorier throwing himself in the direction of the goalkeeper's clearance. He's getting a regular run in the team. Started 4 of the last 5 now. Aurier. Nico Williams might count himself a little bit unfortunate to be back on the bench this afternoon. So he have options in the squad given the number of new arrivals that Steve Cooper has been showing signs of moulding into more of a collective unit. It was always going to take time, I guess, given the changes since promotion. His authority helped by that new 3-year contract. The club's board backed their boss at a time when he was coming under pressure, the loss against Leicester. Since when the response has been impressive, they try and respond here to the early deficit, but thwarted this time by the flag.
Yeah, Arsenal just gone into a little bit of a lull, and that's good for Forest because they can just creep their way into the game here. Just a matter of how they can get out and try and get some support.
Aduh, salah lagi ngopernya. Untung aja tendangannya melenceng kayak gitu.
Well, that's a waste. I mean, when you do get opportunities like this that get lazy in possession, Arsenal, they nick the ball. Lingard's got runners left and right. Elects to shoot. Slices it miles wide. Got to be more careful.
Okay.
Danger for Arsenal, particularly whilst it stays at 1-0. Taken off Martinelli.
Waduh, si Martinelli kenapa gitu?
Saliba keeping everybody in the air. Renadotti. Lost all 4 previous Forest starts. The Brazilian on loan from Atletico. He's had 4 weeks training and impressed Steve Cooper. Hence his return to the team today. He's back on the ball as the Brazilian. Teammate of Gabriel Jesus for Brazil. Hope to link up together in Qatar. God was looking for Jesus. It's cleared as far as Ben White. Partey. Despite letting in the early goal, the Forest game plan hasn't significantly shifted at this stage of proceedings.
So important they don't go too down because that'll be a mountain to climb. Just a little bit of the zip of Arsenal's passing's gone just in the last 10 or 15 minutes or so.
All patience in possession here.
Okay.
Martinelli from Jesus, the intention to return it to him. And so his clearance will go for the throw rather than the corner.
Well, that's good link play. Martinelli coming out from his wide left-hand side berth, just sitting in the hole, just playing around the corners to Jesus, trying to get a little give and go going. That's what they've got to do. Not just stay out in those wide positions, but just drift in those little pockets now and again.
Yassi looking for options. It would suggest that there weren't too many readily available to him. Back to last season, they've won their last 8 home matches in the Premier League of Arsenal. But incredibly, they've not kept a clean sheet in any of those 8. Only once before in history as a team with 9 straight home matches in the top flight of English football.
Okay.
Not shut out the opposition.
Oh, masih ada. Tenang aja. Okay. Okay, Martinelli.
To trick his way. Well, there wasn't a lot of room beyond the byline, but he'll settle for the corner kick in the circumstances.
Yeah, Aurier really had his measure there. He was just trying to show him that line because he's very strong physically, Aurier. So he fancies his chances should they go shoulder to shoulder. Martinelli, I think, would have been better served coming inside there, but it's a good matchup between those two.
A lot of movement in the middle here, awaiting the corner. Serge Aurier away. Partey.
Okay.
But as far as Odegaard, lovely touch to bring it under control. He was looking for Nelson. Ronnie.
Nice body. Bagus.
Well, that's what the referees in the Premier League have let go of the season. They kind of shoulder-to-shoulder stuff, which is more than welcome on my behalf. I think it's improved the pace of the Premier League slightly, that we can get a little bit more physicality into it.
Wait again.
Okay.
There's
Odegaard.
It's just standing off him.
Again.
Over the top from Gabriel Jesus. He knew from the moment left his boot that one wasn't heading where he required it to go.
Yeah, you just sense there's a little bit of... Well, he's not quite assured in front of goal at the moment. He desperately needs a goal, Jesus. He deserves a goal for all the hard work he does for the team, but just getting back on that score sheet are doing him the world of good. Just lacks a little bit of conviction at the moment with those shots.
Until they score the second, Arteta will be a little nervy, certainly given what happened last week at Southampton. And they let that solitary goal lead slip. So they had the chances to score 2 or 3 more, and then suffered in the second half when coming under a bit more pressure. As yet, Forest haven't been able to ask those sort of questions. But there might come a stage of the game where they risk a little more in search of greater reward. There's a foul by Nelson, according to Simon Hooper.
Yeah, that's not shoulder to shoulder. That's more across, more a little bit of an arm across. You can see here. There you go. So that's a little bit high. Good decision.
Forest with just the one touch in the opposition penalty area, telling much of the story of this first half so far.
He's the man who's dictated the pace of the game there, Thomas Partey. I mean, I think he's hit some lovely clip balls over the top field. It looks like he's added that little bit of a delicacy to his armoury, where he's just chipping balls over to the midfielders from deep.
It's been given away though.
Kesalahan.
Searching run by Gibbs White. Still quick to get players back. Renan Lodi. Freuler. They do lose it. Arsenal equally quick to apply the pressure to ensure the opposition aren't afforded possession for too long, although Renan Lodi here has it for Nottingham Forest. His captain Ryan Yates taking over. And Cook striding forward from centre back. Still going. And he's still going. There's Steve Cook. Tommy Yassi there with him, trying to stop him. Gets away. From Aurier. Now Yates.
Okay.
Again, Jesus working so hard to win the ball back, but then ended up with a little bit of a problem.
He just loves a bit of graft, doesn't he? Forcing his way back there, trying to do a bit of defending. Gets a little bit unlucky in the end. It just clips on the side of the foot. Goes for a corner, but Forest at last got the opportunity to commit some players forward.
Okay, ini serangan sudut pertama
untuk
Nottingham Forest.
This will be the chance for them to do that. The first corner kick in the game to be taken by Morgan Gibbs White. With centre backs forward for it. It's the posse of players in the penalty area.
Bagus.
Guided goalwards initially by Yates. It's partially cleared as far as Serge Aurier. He just had time to take that touch. Gibbs White is possessed though. Gabriel Martinelli. With a space to surge forward into. Remo Freuler's gone with him. As has Kouyaté. Odegaard taking over for Arsenal. Heading for the final 5 of the first half. Reece Nelson. Odegaard leaves it for Partey. Saliba to White. Challenge laid down to Arsenal to try and find a way through the matched ranks of the Nottingham Forest defence right now. Into the play coming through Partey. Gabriel. Partey looking to pick that pass. Here's Jesus. Xhaka. Into Gabriel Jesus. Pocket of space for him to work in. All reaches Reece Nelson. Concentration the key here for Forest. Almost like a training ground exercise, this little passage of play. Martin Odegaard, menacingly.
Great passage of passing, wasn't it? He was trying to throw, eventually Odegaard got across. Another good decision from the referee.
Well, looks like to come away with this, having got the better of Tomiyasu. He really goes down against Saliba.
Bagus itu dong, body, mainnya body.
Now might open up for Rhys Nelson.
Oke.
Urged on at the Emirates.
Yuk, serangan balik yuk.
Odegaard. This is Gabriel Martinelli. His early goal remains the difference. Thomas Partey trying to clean Xhaka. Bit heavy.
Unlucky, good idea though from Partey. A little bit heavy with the pass, as you said, Phil, but this is the position he's been in, and then the runners either side of him, they make those runs in there. Xhaka in particular, down that left-hand side, that left channel, just making late runs. He's found him with a lovely couple of clip passes.
Promising signs for the Arsenal boss, who is expected to be given funds to strengthen the squad again in January, just as Steve Cooper will understand by Nottingham Forest in their respective battles at either side of the Premier League table. The win today would take the Gunners back above Manchester City. They do need the win to do so. Gibbs White kept it in. Serge Aurier looking for Kouyaté. When he was in the middle, Saliba importantly
Aduh, salah.
Sees that one blocked by Ben White, who did brilliantly.
Just one lapse in concentration, wasn't it? Lingard, I think, really should have scored, Phil.
Kouyaté winning it back and then winning the free kick, just Forest try and end the first half with a flourish.
Well, I think it was Saliba, wasn't it, with a lapse of concentration. He's tried to pass it, and he's really, look, he's got all the time in the world here. It comes back to him here, look, he just gives it straight to Lingard. He really should have dispatched it. If he'd have gone a little bit higher, he'd have missed the block there coming in. It was a good block, but Lingard, I feel, from that range, got to do a lot better.
Panik sih, panik.
Still looking for his first for Forest, Jesse Lingard. Does love a goal against the Gunners, though. 5 he's managed against Arsenal down the years. Hasn't scored more against any other opponent. And that was a big chance. Regardless, really, the context of the game. It's in by Gibbs White here. And gathered up bravely by Ramsdale at the feet of both A1E and Lingard.
Yeah, I think it was offside anyway. The assistant on the far side of the flag, Phil, but few crumbs of comfort at the moment for Forest.
Well, Martinelli, Xhaka had gone down and is rolling around over there. He was clearly caught and the cut's out for Morgan Gibbs White.
Yeah, he's let a good couple of challenges go, but I think he's gone to this one. This one's a little bit OTT, I think, and he's gone, right, I'm going to put the block on it now, and Gibbs White gets the look, and he slung himself in there. Yeah, I think he's followed him with a kind of scissoring action there on Xhaka, look. So he doesn't catch him in the first foot, so the second foot guarantees he does it. So I don't think he can have any grumbles about that one. He's saying he got the ball, but he's definitely got that intent with that scissoring action to get the player as well.
First caution of the contest goes the way of Morgan Gibbs White. Granit Xhaka is still down at the end of that. It's 3 goals that he's managed this season. The same as in the previous 3 years put together. Just to emphasise the point we were making about his more advanced role.
Yeah, I think he's relishing it. He doesn't get exposed in that position where he's got runners making runs off him, Phil, and he's trying to track them back. It makes it difficult for him to keep up ground with them. Now he's forcing the opposition the other way in a slightly more advanced position. He's become a prominent figure in the team. And of course, with Saka going off, they won't want Xhaka going off as well.
We're into the 2 added minutes at the end of the half, but those will be extended a little bit by the injury to Granit Xhaka in stoppage time. Back on his feet, his 200th Premier League appearance. was their goal scorer at Southampton last Sunday. He's still feeling the effects. In towards the run of Gabriel Jesus here. Strange to think felt it hit his hand. Just getting a little fractious at the end of the first half.
Yeah, I think Forest will be pleased that they're getting into the break only one downfield. I mean, the early goal, it was difficult to counter it, but still think it could have been better dealt with by Steve Cook. But Martinelli, it was a great finish from the stooping header, wasn't it? From the Saka cross. Saka gets injured. Game sort of changed from then, didn't it? It just took a bit of the impetus out of Arsenal, but Forest have kept themselves in the game, and I think Steve Cooper will be quite pleased that it's only one at half-time.
Okay.
Last attack perhaps to try and withstand here. Martinelli in the thick of things. So too was Gabriel Jesus.
Or will it just be one at half-time? I mean, it's a silly foul to give away. Position where there's no danger whatsoever. Freuler with a foul trying to nibble at the ball from the wrong side. Gives a free kick away in a dangerous position.
Yeah, this may very well be the last opportunity of the half. What a difference it would make were Arsenal to profit from it. Captain Erdegaard to take it. Big moment this. Standing his ground against Partey. Lingard trying to prevent the concession of the corner.
I thought it was strange that they didn't commit some more bigger players forward to that free kick there. A chance to go 2 up just before the break. Saliba was on the halfway line. Ben White as well. Both good headers of the ball.
Instead, it is the half-time whistle, and there is just the one goal between the teams. Arsenal getting off to a super start just 5 minutes in when Gabriel Martinelli gave them the lead, but it hasn't quite gone according to the script for the Gunners since then. Their advantages are still intact, but they haven't been as they would have hoped able to add to it, and indeed lost Bukayo Saka to a first half injury as well. So Forest frustrated the Gunners the longer the half went on, and will feel that there is still something in this game for them, which we'll see in the second half. But at the break at the Emirates, it is Arsenal 1, Nottingham Forest 0. Gabriel Jesus and Arsenal to get the action back underway. They started the game so strong.
Dan sampai jumpa di babak kedua. Okay guys, we're back on the second half for Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. Let's go.
Action back underway. They started the game so strongly. Can they do something similar in the second half? Nottingham Forest may be growing in belief by Tony Gale after the way in which they itched their way back into the game. They didn't fold after conceding early.
Oh, and gradually crept their way down the pitch, got a couple of set pieces and had a great chance, didn't they, when Saliba made it on a plate really for Lingard, who really should have lifted it over. The blocker there has just come sliding in just in the nick of time. I think it was Ben White who got the block in, but really should have made a better fist of it. But they're still in this game, Phil, although Arsenal had a very good first half.
Attempting to make it 6 home wins from 6 so far this season. The Gunners. It would be a 9th home win in a row in the Premier League, dating back to last season. No way through for Granit Xhaka. Last team to beat them here, actually, in this division were Brighton, back on the 9th of April. Tomiyasu with the throw. Saint-Aurier sticking tight to Martinelli.
Just had a little look at Miguel and set her down on the line there, and just as the centre-backs were playing it backwards and forwards to each other, he's saying, do it quicker. Even if you're passing it across the back sideways, move the team about, the opposition about a lot quicker if your passing's quicker.
Felt they suffered a bit physically in Eindhoven on Thursday because they've been having to chase the game for much of the match. Different story today so far as Partey delivers deep from the throws. In awkwardly, hasn't yet been dealt with. And then away by Morgan Gibbs-White. They will need to apply the pressure to Saliba.
Yeah, good place from Saliba there, because that was an even race there. The ball went over the top, but dealt with that quite comfortably.
Slipped seamlessly into the Arsenal defence this season, hasn't he, after his time back out on loan in France? That's Ben White, shifted to right back for this season. Jesus.
Okay, Jesus.
Point comes for Erdegaard. He again is an isolated target, and again he has Saliba in very close attendance. Partey, Erdegaard.
Okay, Odegaard.
This is Reece Nelson. Came on for Zeka in the first half. Finding Thomas Partey. Tomiyasu wider for Martinelli.
Okay, Martinelli.
Partey always offering up the option. White joining in with the attack as well, as he has been fairly frequently in recent weeks. And it was met by Jesus. It was safely stopped by Dean Henderson.
Yeah, good ball from Tomiyasu. Look, he's going away to this left-hand side, and he really gets a nice little bit of whip and curl on it, doesn't he? But look at Jesus again, up above, big in the defenders, still being a real presence. Something's got to break for him soon, hasn't he? Phil? He's getting into positions, needs to finish him off.
Okay. Shaka.
Cut back just behind Jesus. Nelson.
Boom.
Boom.
Masuk.
It's another super goal from Arsenal, isn't it? Very, very quick. And again, it's the man who you don't think is going to make the runs. It's Granit Xhaka who makes that run in the inside left position again. From long, lying deeper in midfield that creates the goal. It's a great run. Added to his repertoire. Seems to have been that defensive midfield player. Now look at him making the runs. Forwards come short, and in goes Xhaka. There he goes into that space. Jesus. It's just vacated, but this is great little ball by Jesus. Bumps it onto Nelson. He gets a little bit lucky. That's not the best of finishes, but gets a second. Quite the cherry, and he finishes really well. The Jesus just spots it nice and quickly. Comes inside there. That's not the best of strikes. Second one is though. Bang, 2 up.
Shaka.
Similar to the first half.
Jesus.
Early goal.
Nelson.
Forest struggling now.
5 minutes into the first half, 5 minutes into the second half. Two hugely important Arsenal goals, and Reece Nelson scores only his second ever Premier League goal. He managed one excellent as last Premier League start. That was against Liverpool back in the summer of 2020. It's his first goal since November of that year. In the Europa League. He was a substitute today after Zeka's injury, and he's come up with a vital contribution. At the second time of asking, maybe. They still have that little bit of breathing space. No 2-goal cushion they were never able to assemble against the Saints last Sunday.
Yeah, sorry, Phil. Nearly interrupted you there. Oh, that's very good. Oh, no, you're long enough, mate. That's okay. Anyway, just that little strike, the first strike from Reece Nelson, I thought it was so weak. It kind of caught Henderson off guard there because he spilled it back out. Probably could have done better himself gathering that one in. I think he was surprised at the lack of power in the shot. Let it go back out again, and then he finished with a lovely break from Arsenal. Really fluent football.
It's Nelson, the one that reached the reward. And the test just got a lot tougher for Nottingham Forest. They try and respond here. Will the Remo Freuler in space? So Jorier flights it in threateningly.
Okay. Oh, cakep.
Beautifully done. So he's trying to finish this time. Instead, he attempts to link with Erdegaard.
Odegaard.
And still has it in
Siragu. Sugiarno.
They are flying, Phil. Absolutely flying at the Arsenal. There's Jesus again, and Odegaard in the penalty area. Lovely little bits of tight control. Very, very patient. So unselfish from Jesus again. Okay, he's not scoring, but the team's winning, and the goals are coming from different areas. Great break down the left-hand side. Martinelli excellent again. Super touch from Jesus. Just passes it off to Odegaard there. He stays patient, and then just flicks it back to Jesus. It's crept in there. Nelson's in there with a little tap in. Just helps him on his way. Come back into the side. It's a little bit of a dream for him, isn't it? Next one's his hat-trick.
Me from Jesus.
Nelson. Before scoring two in a little over 2 minutes today on his first Premier League appearance of this season. Mikel Arteta and Arsenal all smiles. They are heading back to the summit, it would seem, of the Premier League today. Vince Nelson scored his first ever Arsenal goal against Nottingham Forest in that 5-0 League Cup win here, September of 2019. He stepped off the bench to reflect further punishment on Steve Cooper's side, who kept those back-to-back clean sheets coming to the Emirates today. But it's damage limitation maybe from here, and a lot of that damage has already been done.
Yeah, but you don't want it being 5 or 6 though, because that really knocks your confidence
Awas.
the bottom of the table, and knocks also the goal difference as well. But as far as Arsenal are concerned, I think they've got to plough on and really try and get some more goals here. It's simply there for them, there for the taking. That's some lovely movement. Love the rotation of movement. With Xhaka making those forward runs. Martinelli, he's just electric on this left-hand side. There's an eye in Xhaka, the world of space, and I just love Jesus. I think, forget the goals, he's a super player.
The change is being readied by Steve Cooper. You're going to see Quinton Johnson and Emmanuel Dennis have been to try and find some sort of threat going forward. Because it is all Arsenal right now. Only Manchester City scoring more in the Premier League this season. Only Newcastle letting in less than Mikel Arteta's team. Aurier with the throw. Jesse Lingard and Morgan Gibbs-White we're hearing of the players that are going to make way as part of this change. It will happen here. Brandon Johnson started the first 11 games of the Premier League season. He brought off the bench in the last two. He will take the place of Morgan Gibbs-White. Jesse Lingard is also coming off. He did have that one big prize chance in the first half, but he wasn't able to make the most of.
Well, he really hasn't done it, has he, since he's gone to Forest? For me, there was a big tug of war, wasn't there, between Nottingham Forest and West Ham, who was going to get Jesse Lingard. He chose this route to go to Forest, but so far he hasn't done the business for them. And both wide players, Gibbs-White as well, a very expensive signing, both coming off.
So on Emmanuel Dennis, in from Watford in the summer. Been unused on the bench in the last couple of games. And previously forced his way into the starting lineup. Forest just trying to freshen things up after what has been a torrid start to the second half for them. Thomas Partey, Saliba, Tomiyasu.
Just that little rotation and movement of Tomiyasu, very similar to Manchester City, where the fullbacks come in into that position in the midfield, trying to receive the ball.
There's Nelson.
Partey!
Whole season really, but I think he's dictated it in there. But Forest now really passive resistance to the ball, letting Arsenal run at them, sitting on them. Really, you're going to get punished. But super strikes like that if you sit off quality players. The foot, but the curl on it starts outside and it comes back inside the post. You'll see it better from this angle. There it goes outside, comes inside, nice and high in the net. What a finish! Partey time.
No Thomas, no Partey.
Whose 3 previous Premier League goals have come in home wins. I think it's safe to say that statistic is set to be extended. Arsenal were a little edgy at times in the first half, but they're 4 up before we've reached the hour mark. Partey also scored here in the North London Derby victory against Tottenham at the start of the month. He has ended in October in similar style.
Okay.
Given away to Martin Odegaard. Gabriel Jesus!
Jesus and
Kept the damage down for now anyway.
Johnson just on the pitch. Brennan Johnson is a terrible ball. Gives it away to Odegaard and he sets up Jesus, and that's got to be in the back of the net. That's the only thing he's letting himself do at the moment. He doesn't open himself up enough there, his body gets too close to him under the ball and he doesn't finish it. He deserves a goal, but he's got to get that finishing at the moment. He's suffering in front of goal.
That's what they're lacking really today, isn't it? Another big opportunity for him. So that one's blocked away. Going to leave the throw for Thomas Partey to take. He just scored his 2nd goal of the season, his 4th in Arsenal colours. They sense there might be many more in this yet for the Gunners, the way the second half is going.
Oh, sabar, jangan syuting dulu.
Checker.
Jangan syuting, sabar. Udah 4-0.
This game's done and dusted, but these players won't want to come off. They're enjoying themselves.
Forest did lose 6-0 to Arsenal's title rivals, Manchester City, at the end of August. The Gunners might have designs on at least mention that. With half an hour still to play. It's Granit Xhaka again. Martinelli.
Kenapa? Oh, offside.
Good energy about that kid, isn't there, Martinelli? Even the front three when Saka was on as well, the energy from him and Jesus. Even when they're out of position, they're after the ball, they're hungry, they're making the rest of the team defend, and they defend from the front. There's a really good energy about the Arsenal team at the moment.
Forest free kick here. Yeah, that's the point with those two. What they bring to the cause. Arsenal changes are imminent. Both teams are actually going to make a double switch very shortly. Not until we've seen what Forest can produce here. This is Dennis. Trying to get involved really for the first time. Renan Lodi. Now Remo Freuler. Dennis can't find a way beyond Saliba. He wasn't giving it up.
Those Forest fans in the corner have been brilliant. Absolutely behind their team, every inch of the way.
Martinelli keluar. Kita lihat siapa yang masuk.
His lead Arsenal goes on significantly at the start of this second half. Well, that makes sense, that change, Phil. You don't want both Saka's already.
Oh, Cedric dan Vieira.
That makes real sense. Vieira is going to be his replacement, the Portuguese playmaker. It's the one Premier League start for Fabio Vieira so far. But he has come off the bench now 6 times. And Tomiyasu is also being replaced by Cedric, who, having been an amused member of the squad on 11 occasions,
Tomiyasu keluar, Cedric masuk.
for the first time since the last day of last season. Yeah, there was a doubt about Tomiyasu before the game, so another substitution that makes sense. Cedric on in his place. Interestingly, rather than Kieran Tierney, he remains on the bench, and now the Forest changes. Nico Williams will replace Renan Lodi, and Awali has also gone off, with Joe Worrell introduced upon to the defence that's already been significantly breached.
Okay.
First involvement for Joe Worrell, who was a regular starter at the start of the season. Lost his place over the course of the last 6 games. Thought that he had to get involved there against Granit Xhaka.
Xhaka.
Forest looking to try and find some sort of foothold in the game, having conceded those 3 goals in the space of just a shade over 8 minutes early in the second half. Really was a wow 8 minutes, wasn't it? Terrific stuff from Arsenal. Not far from finished yet. Trying to get him behind again.
Oh no, wrong sudut.
Pressure having just come on. Fabio Vieira having just come on. He got done initially by the run from Vieira, coming short then spinning, and it was a lovely little ball from Ben White over the top. They done well to react in the end. Here comes the corner then. Opportunity here to get the ball into the box. Everybody in red has stayed forward. It's just too far in front of Ben White. Touch for Nelson. Now Xhaka. Chris Nelson. Nearly for Arsenal.
Kejauhan Nelson.
Vieira took his eye off the ball, because that's a lovely ball from Nelson. Look, he's took everyone out the game at the far post there. He just had to clip that back on the volley, or even meet it on the half volley. Took his eye off the ball.
Si Vieira dia kurang get the finishing touch gitu.
Still utterly dominant in this second half. 8 attempts they've had at goal already, nothing at the other end, but that might change here. This is Emmanuel Dennis, who had Brennan Johnson in the middle. Too far in front of him.
Tidak bisa.
Go down. The referee content to let it continue. Yeah, he's letting him challenge his goal afternoon. Maybe a better game for it. Nelson switching flanks since the substitutions. He's out of contract at the end of this year, I believe. Chris Nelson, who was out on loan in the Eredivisie at Feyenoord last season, featured in the Premier League until today. This too.
Oke. Jesus. Aduh, bisa dioper kan harusnya.
He's done it again. He's chose the wrong option. It's a great run in behind, spun in behind, lovely ball. He only had to clip it over the top of the keeper. You can see, look, comes short, little bit of a spin,
Great run. Now he's got to meet it there. He's got to hit it. No, but he's had a touch too many. Drove himself wide rather than the keeper. Gave himself no chance. Just lacking that bit of
Jesus. Jesus.
Martin Odegaard. It's a corner kick. Away by Kuyate. Midway point of the second half. Arsenal set to return to the summit. Europa League business to attend to here on Thursday against Zurich. And then it's Chelsea away in a London derby a week today. Odegaard.
Okay.
Looking for the run of
Okay.
Gabriel Jesus.
Jesus.
He did get on the end of it, didn't get his shot away. Does eventually see that end in frustration. And that's been his story so far.
Again, the
Winning
wrong option.
between
Should have shot
the
first
guard.
time. You've got to shoot
Jesus.
there. He tries to have a touch as the tackle comes in, but it's a great run. Lovely ball from Odegaard as well. He's just slid it down the side. Didn't have to check his run. Beautiful pass.
Aurier towards Ryan Yates, the Nottingham Forest captain. He's gone down and stayed down, clutching his face there. That's why the referee has now stepped in.
Nothing.
Yeah, not a young man who would normally go down, so you can assume that he was injured. Yeah, just got caught a little bit of a flailing arm, didn't he, there? Just there. Nothing intentional. Doesn't stop it from hurting though, does it, Phil?
Very true.
Just checking the old nuggets, see if they're in place.
We'll be given plenty of time to try and recover here.
On the pitch, he took two chances to have a little nibble at that one, but a great introduction for him. As the third goal comes in, it was great play from Odegaard and Jesus just to set him up. And this is the goal of the game. What a goal that is from Partey. Curling it outside the post, drifting it in, top corner.
Completely taking the game away from Nottingham Forest. Chased the experience it's turned into their first league meeting with Arsenal since January of 1999. Martin Keown got the winning goal that day. So we've beaten the last 11 home matches against Nottingham Forest in all competitions, including all 5 previous Premier League meetings in North London. Is Fabio Vieira, dispossessed by Kuyate. McKenna goes back to his goalkeeper and Henderson was just able to complete the clearance. Granit Xhaka. Touch for Cedric, now Gabriel. They're signing that new extended Arsenal contract, the best day of his life. Arteta praising his work ethic and the progress that he's made as an Arsenal player. Granit Xhaka. Odegaard trying to dance his way through. Still has it here, Martin Odegaard. It's so difficult to dispossess in those sort of situations, but Nico Williams did so eventually.
Nice.
Johnson towards Dennis.
Nice. Oh, bagus, bagus.
Start wanting to get there first, and then sure that he had the strength to do the rest. And just shepherding that ball out of play.
Haven't had a lot to do today, have they? Gabriel and Saliba at the back. One unfortunate error he made that maybe Lingard should have made better of, but been a tough afternoon for Steve Cooper down there. Who want to be a manager when you're 4-0 down and you've got you got 19 minutes left on the clock? That's not a place you would want to be standing. You don't envy him today.
Home games coming up against Brentford and Palace, which may afford them a greater opportunity to try and move off the foot of the Premier League table. Briefly did so after the win against Liverpool, but we're back there before the weekend was out. We'll stay there today.
Partey.
There is Cedric. Reece Nelson on a hat-trick. Full of confidence after what has gone before. Cedric is able to sling the cross in. All partially clear. The other goes down, didn't get the free kick that he was hoping for and is still appealing for. Nico Williams advances. He's got Emmanuel Dennis making the run. He reaches it instead of Gabriel. He has Johnson in all sorts of space initially in the middle. He's unable to pick the pass.
What's he done there? He had two opportunities to shoot there, Bill. Really should have got his shot away, Dennis. He's ended up coming backwards 30 yards, but done exceptionally well to get in a really good position there. But to shoot.
Nice one, Mr.
Done brilliantly to get in here, Dennis. When you're there, look, you've got an opportunity there to have a little shot, and then there to have a little shot. Even if you drag it, you had Johnson running out of the far post, but ends up going back 20 to 30 yards. 4 options taken.
It's 1 goal so far since his signing from Watford. He was on the losing team twice against Arsenal last season in the Premier League. Too far ahead of Granit Xhaka, gathered up by Henderson.
We've seen Mikel Arteta in the technical area for the last 5 minutes. It must be that comfortable a game. Normally he's up there reliving every kick of the football match, isn't he?
Very comfortable for him right now. With Arsenal utterly in the ascendancy. But they will want the clean sheet. They haven't managed one here yet this season. By Nico Williams, watched wide by Ramsdale. I touched on that stat earlier. Only one team ever in the history of the English top flight has won 9 home league matches in a row and not kept a clean sheet, and that was Aston Villa in the very first ever season of the Football League in 1888. Steve Cooper's team get a goal today. Arsenal will equal that.
Okay, Tierney.
That was a particular favourite. More changes. Xhaka coming off.
Saka keluar.
Just for Western rotate a little bit.
Ya, masuk.
Continues his record of appearing off the bench in every Premier League game so far this season.
Saliba. Keluar.
Saliba also making way.
Tierney.
Centre back Kieran Tierney will come into the action.
Well, a lovely position to be in. I thought he made some really good comments, Arteta, about players or people were tending to moan about the fixture pile up for them, and he was saying, look, if you want to be a top player, you've got to be playing these games in midweek and then at the weekend and really manning up and getting on with it. No excuses, even after a couple of, well, a draw and a defeat in the Europa Cup there, but no excuses, just telling everybody to really get on with it. He's not going to have all these thoughts about tiredness.
Terus. Oh, bagus sekali.
Spurs against a little bit of actors as well, unnecessarily so.
360 dan bagus tadi barusan.
Mario with the shovel and Ketia. It was Albert Sambi Lokonga recently, wasn't it, who went public with his comments saying he wanted to be playing more for Arsenal. Tata said he had to back that up and show why. And notably, he is one of those that remains on the bench today, despite all the substitutions that we've seen. Further frustration for Forest, and there's been plenty of it for them in the second half.
Well, I think they got blown away in that 8-minute spell, Phil, didn't they? I said it just before the break, or going into the break, they were still in the game, and I think Steve Cooper would have been quite pleased that it was just 1-0 down. Saka had interrupted that flow of play that Arsenal had, and they got a little bit stuck for a little while, but wow, did they come out in the second half, just blown them away.
Well, they come again looking for Gabriel Jesus, got there first. Vieira, Thomas Partey, Jesus to the goal. The captain gets in on the out for Arsenal. You have their fifth goal. They are turning on the style as they return to the top of the table.
Cracking goal from a cracking player. Such an educated left foot he's got, hasn't he, Odegaard? But again, it's Jesus pinning defenders, unselfishly setting it up for one of his teammates to slam into the net. He could have easily twisted and turned and tried to get a shot himself. Maybe he's lacking in that little bit of confidence. But again, Thomas Partey just at the heart of it, as he has been for the whole of this second half, rolls it in there, just holds the ball up lovely. But look at his Forest. 3 or 4 around. No one wants to get a block in. Token resistance really at the moment. It's far too easy for Arsenal, although they have been exceptional. Great strike.
4-0 would have been their biggest win of the season, but they've made sure of that surely now. By extending the lead further.
5-0.
Tennis at the other end.
Just looking at those Forest fans in the corner, Phil. Excellent. I mean, Dennis makes the run, gets a corner, and he goes over there and he's getting a round of applause. The Forest fans are there to stay. It's going to be a fight from this season, but the Forest fans really are a great bunch of supporters. I went up there for the West Ham game. It was some atmosphere. It was electric.
Well, yeah, loved it against Liverpool last week. The team suffering just at the moment in North London today. They do have the corner here.
Vâng, mà
It has now. Partey. So Williams flashing it in for the Johnson trying to get there. Kieran Tierney defender just about it enough, but he was under pressure from Johnson.
Yeah, he was always on the right side though, Phil, so it's good defending there from Tierney. He's on the right side in defending terms. He's on that goal side, so he's always going to make the interception.
No attention for Arsenal does to trying to keep this first home clean sheet of the Premier League campaign. Nico Williams with the Nottingham Forest corner.
Okay.
Kept one here since beating Leicester in March.
Oh, cakep itu, Bang. Oke, Tierney.
Time to advance into opposition territory.
Terus.
Odegaard. Goal that he scored his 4th of the season. All being urged to shoot now.
Vera ngapain itu?
Probably all not too happy that he had to make the challenge there. On Emmanuel Dennis.
Oh, banyak mana?
Whatever statistic you choose to select today, Arsenal have been dominant in it. 70% of the ball. They've had 20 attempts at goals and just 4 at the other end. And Nottingham Forest are making another change, and after missing the last 3 matches through illness, Lewis O'Brien is back into action here. He will take the place of Checo Kouyaté in the Forest midfield. Did play in 8 of their first 9 in the top flight this term. Since his signing from Huddersfield, with whom he was on the losing side against Forest at Wembley. They knew after victory that day, I'm sure that there would be days like this, teething problems on their return. For Nottingham Forest, the challenge is to ensure that they learn from them, and that is all they end up being. Been showing signs of significant improvement defensively, letting in just 2 goals in the last 4 games before today. They had conceded 16 in the previous 4. This will be setback in that respect.
Yeah, a bit of a double whammy for not just getting promoted, but just all the players that they've signed. I mean, it was good. The transition, the Championship to Premier League is so tough. The nucleus of that side is kind of gone a little bit.
Okay.
With all the signings, maybe took a little bit of the heart out of it, but you're going to need a lot of that heart if they're going to survive. All these new signings have got to knit in very, very quickly, because games will soon start running out, Phil. need to get a few points just before that break to go to the World Cup, just to give the whole club a lift, really. That win against Liverpool came out the blue. We need a few more like that. Tough for Steve Cooper. I think he's an excellent coach, Stoke manager. Wherever he's been, he's done a good job. But this is a tough ask for him, real tough ask. I like the way he talks after the game, and he speaks about the problems.
Seemed to have the backing of his board, doesn't he, with that new 3-year contract that he was afforded at the start of the month. Best win rate of any Nottingham Forest manager. Followed by Tierney. Vieira puts the pressure. McKenna. From O'Brien to Scott McKenna. Now Remo Freuler. O'Brien let it run, it didn't reach Johnson though. White stepped in. He's back playing where he spent the majority of last season, centre back.
Yeah, well, that's where they bought him for, but he's quite adaptable. He's also played in midfield in his Brighton days, didn't he? But he thought it was a lot of money, but players cost a lot of money, don't they? So when you can have a player that can play in different positions, it's a valuable piece of your squad.
This will be his first victory against Forest in 4 appearances facing them. A couple of those were for Leeds United in the Championship. The pressure to Nico Williams. He's conceded the corner.
Okay, yuk. Round sudut.
Gabriel from the back, but instead it was way too vintage. Jesus couldn't quite get a touch to it on the far post. And for all Arsenal's dominance today, Gabriel Jesus just can't get his goal.
Well, in truth, Phil, we could have had 5 goals today. It could have been so much more worse. How does he miss that? How does he miss that? Jesus. Great flick on by Benoit. And he's only got to get the outside of his foot to that. Maybe there's a defender in front of him there, Steve Cook. That might put him off a little bit, but you've got to fancy him to score that one. He just missed it.
Incredible that he hasn't been able to end this little mini goal drought that he's on, given the chances that he's had. Given Arsenal's authority today. That 6-0 defeat that Forest suffered at Manchester City at the end of August was their heaviest league defeat since March of 2005. There is still the possibility that it could be equalled. Arsenal have had the chances to have surpassed it already. Inside the final 5 of the 90 now. Times on their travels this season, Nottingham Forest, as they have
Okay,
very little to do in the second half. It's already 2 away goals more than they let in the whole of the Championship season in the previous campaign.
Arsenal inching towards that clean sheet, Phil. Going to ruin your stats.
They have been strong defensively late in games this season. They've not conceded in the last 15 minutes of a Premier League match.
Okay.
It's Nelson. 3 to try and pick out. It's just the Odegaard and Eddie and Nketiah. It will come for Kieran Tierney though. Partey. Cedric. There's Nelson. Vieira. So 2 corners got it. Partey's right. Nketiah.
They're tripping over to get to the ball, but the Forest players are just shouldering balls.
Jauhan. Scored from similar range already. Tilted into another goal. Wasn't quite as impressive.
Not nearly as impressive as that wonderful strike earlier, but you see what he was trying? Exactly the same thing, Phil, wasn't it? But there we go, about row N. I would say that one was in, but look, it's a hard place to be in when you're 5-0 down, really. But the Forest players, you can see the body language at the moment. They're really not getting close enough. They're laying off, and you can't lay off against good players.
He's just hoping ready for the full-time whistle there after what has been such a difficult afternoon for them. Serge Aurier. Cedric will take no chances with the concession of the corner.
Yeah, I think that was quite an easy one, just to head that back to Ramsdale there, but gives Forest the opportunity. And a stat ruiner.
I think you're more impressed with that stat than I was, actually.
Liked it, Phil, liked it.
Nico Williams will take the corner kick.
Okay.
Let's get that into the glass. By Owen Ramsdale. He will want that clean sheet more than anybody.
I think it's important. It just gives it kind of a little bit of a perfect performance.
Obviously working it wide. Gabriel Jesus. Support from Cedric. Infield instead to Martin Erdegaard. Last minute of the 90. Eddie Nketiah. Conte again. The chance really to shoot this time by the presence of Freuler.
Okay.
Has took the pass for Nelson. Nketiah trying to turn. Nearly. So sorry, I should have had the free kick there against Gabriel. Which wasn't given. So let it go. And then White alert to reach it ahead of Brennan Johnson. Nketiah is not going to reach that though. The game reaches the 90-minute mark. It will be extended by 3 further minutes of additional time. Maurice Nelson go on and get his hat-trick. It's the one really that took it away from Forest at the start of the second half. Those 2 quick-fire goals. Serge Aurier's header away, and as far as Fabio Vieira to try and return it. Jesus couldn't reach it. Freuler, Partey picking it up. Erdegaard again, gliding through the gears. This is Maurice Nelson. Couldn't quite find the finish this time. O'Brien will loft it long for Brennan Johnson.
Trying to walk that one into the net. Maybe should have been another goal there. It's so easy to just walk him through the Forest defence, just parting the ways.
It was a little over elaborate, wasn't it, from Arsenal in the end? Understandable perhaps in the circumstances. Cedric. Jesus. Forest really just want the whistle here. Arsenal toying with them as they have for much of this second half in particular. As recently as January, of course, when Arsenal were knocked out of the FA Cup by Nottingham Forest in the 3rd round. Very different team that they faced today, but it's been a very different story.
Odegaard's been brilliant in there. He's just drifting around that midfield area. Xhaka earlier on was very good, just in front of Partey, the pair of them. Really excellent. I mean, he just collides for a game, doesn't he, Odegaard? Another lovely little right pass there, outside of the foot, trying to drift it down the side of defenders. But great awareness, great vision, deft touch. And he slight of frame, but a lot stronger than he looks.
Well, Arteta delighted by what he's seen, I'm sure. Call for a reset after the Arsenal movement on Thursday. This is Arsenal back to what they were doing in the opening couple of months of the campaign. Continuing their best ever start to a Premier League season. But here comes Nico Williams for Nottingham Forest. Minutes really in a shot-winning game. It was straight up Ramsdale. Arsenal's job is done. It is a statement success to return to the top of the Premier League table. Nottingham Forest by 5 goals to 0. They've been comfortable since the early stages of the second half. It was Martinelli who started the scoring in the early stages of the first half. But not until Russell Nelson after the injured Bukayo Saka scored twice in quick succession at the start of the second period did Arsenal make their dominance pay. And it was Partey time after that towards his goal. A wonderful effort, the pick of the goals really into the top corner. The captain Martin Odegaard had the final say in the scoring as it turned out. The Gunners keeping the clean sheet as well for the first time here at home in the Premier League this season. Not much more that Mikel Arteta can ask for this afternoon. Forest 4 and remain at the foot of the table. Full time, Arsenal 5, Nottingham Forest 0.
Di YouTube channel gua. And I guess see you on the next video.